Now, before we get started with working on a job, let's first understand the process and some of the do's and the don'ts while working on a given job. One of the first things you need to know is when you see a job and when you're really interested in working on a job, you need to choose the choose to work option. When you get into the job section, you will see a number of jobs available on the platform. However, you cannot make a submission on any given job until and unless you choose to work on a given job. You will find a button called Choose to Work at every given job at the bottom of the page. Once you have selected Choose to Work, you will then have the ability to make any submissions, add candidates, and or even ask for the client details. Without choosing to work on a given job, you will not be able to do any of these submissions. In addition to Choose to Work, you will also find an option called Working On. Every job that you choose to work will automatically be added to the Working On section. This is a fantastic way to understand where your jobs are and what are the submissions that you've made, and keep a track of every given job that you're actively working on. Once you have chosen to work on a given job, you can now request for client details. Do keep note there are limitations in terms of how many client requests you can make at a given point in time. In order to make a successful submission, you need to first add the candidates to the candidate section. The candidates need to be added manually and along with their resumes and all of their personal details. Once the candidates are added to the candidate section, you can then go ahead and choose to submit a given candidate. That is when you will have another form to fill in all the submission requirements before the candidate is submitted. Once a candidate is submitted successfully, you need to go and make sure that the submissions were successful. You have a tab called Submissions where you can see all the list of historic submissions, and you can check to make sure your candidates are added in the submission section. That's how you can make sure all of your candidates are properly submitted.